Let's explore how to arrive at a finished piece like that from an admittedly odd collection of chords. While undertone and extempore are starting up, here are the simplified chords for our starting tune, LFE's unofficial theme song, and here are some brief analyses of the modes and durations. Undertone is ready to go, so let's start our custom REPL and load our files. Here's the setup for the MIDI. And then next we'll paste the code for our Markov chains for the initial chord transitions and volume. Here we've defined a very simple chord builder that merely wraps extempore's own chord building function. We'll be adding to this shortly. And this is our starting progression function, the foundation of our piece. It's responsible for playing the notes and preparing the inputs for the next iteration. This includes getting the next chord to use, the next duration of play, and how loudly it should be played. And now you can hear the progression starting. This is very plain, simple chords and transitions from one to the other with no dynamics. Let's change that by updating our volume transitions and adding another chain for situations where we want to have the possibility for more dramatic shifts in volume between notes. To take advantage of this, we'll have to override our default play note function that we've saved in our funds.xtm file and update it to use our new volume Markov chain. We can make things more interesting for our bass notes by conditionally arpeggiating the notes of our chords. This function keeps track of the duration of each note played in the arpeggio and will bail if the total of those durations exceeds the time allotted for the given chord. We need to update the progression function for this. And we can add some more spice by randomly incorporating syncopations into our arpeggio, delaying the moment that the first note plays. You can hear the arpeggio starting there. Now it's time to pull the right hand into the mix. We'll start with a simple melody function that will either create a chord, just like we did for the left hand, or select a set of notes taken from the original piece. Create a new function for playing the randomly selected notes for melody. Whatever notes get selected with the build melody function will either be played randomly one at a time until the time is up for the given chord, or it will play no note at all, instead inserting a rest. We have to update our progression function to support playing melodies now. You can hear it kick in right there. Let's make our melody builder more interesting. This function creates melodies with different numbers of notes it will iterate through, and a different high and low range that will be used for however long the current chord is played. And we'll have to update our melody player to use this. And since it's a little bit busy now, let's simplify the note timings to play each note a little longer. Now we're approaching the end of our piece, so let's soften the volumes. And this is also a good time to demonstrate how to depress and lift the sustain pedal. We'll add another Markov chain for the transitions where the pedal release should occur. Then in our progression function, we'll send MIDI change control messages for the pedal. Let's up the dissonance for a modern classical feel. Here we'll take the notes that directly follow each other in the original piece, and we'll update the play melody function. This causes the source notes to be preferred, but if the current note doesn't have an original transition, it will select a new one from our random melody notes instead. You can hear that dissonance starting to kick in now. Finally, we'll drop our volume even more and reduce the total number of chords possible for our transitions. And now we'll update the left hand to go back to simply playing chords, no more arpeggios. Slow things down some more and reduce the total chords to just one. As you can see, that Markov chain now has all transitions going to the minor chord. And you can see in the logs below that it's starting to hit just that one minor. We'll let that play for a few more and then update the transitions to go to a chord for which there is no transition. It'll effectively finish our piece for us after it plays that chord. And there you have it.